Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We will be starting our service in just a few minutes, and I'm thrilled to see your smiling faces this evening. Before we start the service, may I please remind everyone to silence cell phones or other devices. As you can see by our choir seated in the loft, it's going to be quite a musical service tonight.
מה טוב ומה נעים שברחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שברחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שברחים גם יחד הנה מה הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים יחד.
Thank you, Cantor Dan, choir, and Dr. David. And Shabbat Shalom to everyone here at Temple Sinai. And welcome to our Temple Sinai family and friends who are joining us somewhere close by or very far away. I'm Lynn Weinstein, co-president along with Betty Adams. And it's my honor now to invite Barbara Mandel to come to the lectern to bring light into our lives and into our sanctuary with the kindling of the Shabbat candles. I ask everyone to please turn to page 120 and 121 in your Siddur.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which we live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak unto our hearts and our lives. Blessed is all who enters the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Amen.
And now I invite Bob Geller to lead us in Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava u'v'ratzon imchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh b'reishit, ki hu yom tehillah lemikra kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'charta v'tanu kidasha mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodeshecha be'ahava u'v'ratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen.
L'chaim.
As they say, good vintage. It's just Manischewitz. Okay. We turn now to page 127 as we read together responsively. There are days when we seek things for ourselves, and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we do not seek to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We continue on page 142 with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We now turn back in our prayer book to page 138, as we welcome in the Shekhinah, the presence of God, into our midst to share in this day of peace, of rest, of Shabbat. As always, we will be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Lecha, lecha, dodi, likrat, likrat, gala, b'nei panei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha, lecha, dodi, likrat, likrat, gala, b'nei panei Shabbat nikavela. La, 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 lecha, dodi, likrat, likrat, gala, b'nei panei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha, lecha, dodi, likrat, likrat, gala, b'nei panei Shabbat nikavela. Shamor v'zachor v'livurecha, Hishmiyanu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem motiv v'ered v'lichila, la 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 lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei panei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei panei Shabbat nikavela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha. So ma'aseh v'machshava chila, la 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 lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei panei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei panei Shabbat nikavela. He told every, Kiva orek umi ori, uri uri shidaberi, Elod Adonai elechti, la 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 lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei panei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha lecha dodi, עצרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני ים סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לה 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 לחדותי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לחדותי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לה 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 לחדותי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לחדותי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Now that we're up and about, turn to somebody who you haven't seen in a while, say Shabbat Shalom, wish them well. As we remain standing, we turn to page 146 for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu. Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, 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 yai dai 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 dai, yai dai yai dai dai dai, yai dai yai dai yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai yai dai dai dai, yai dai yai dai yai dai dai dai. Barechu et Adonai am evorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai. Please be seated. We turn the page and read together on page 149 at the bottom. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv arabim. We turn to page 152 and 153. If it is your custom, please rise at this time as we declare the oneness of Adonai, our God in heaven. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shekevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shekevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Let us turn to page 235. I know, I'm having us jump all over the place tonight. But you'll understand when you see the Torah portion. Let us read together at the top of the page. When justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when, to the last full measure of selfless devotion, we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, when your goodness enters our lives and we begin to change the world, and then you live in our hearts, and we, through righteousness, behold your presence. We turn back to page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered at Sinai. We bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Some call this the lullaby prayer. And in fact, in many camps around the world right now, Jewish camps, they sing this right before they go to bed at night. It's called Siyum, the closing. And I will tell you some of the fondest memories I've had at working at these camps is that moment when they hear this. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom, V'ha'amidenu Shomreinu L'chaim, Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Oh, Adonai, keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 So everybody just take a moment, close your eyes, breathe in the stress of the week, and let it out. It's gone. Sometimes we need those moments. But other times, we might feel drained completely from the week's work because the cantor has finals and is writing multiple papers and take-home tests and reading pages and pages of Talmud. But sometimes there are those pieces of music that just give you that little extra boost. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat l'tor et ha'berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat l'tor et ha'berit olam. B'nei uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat l'tor et ha'berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat l'tor et ha'berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vaynafash, Shabbat vaynafash, Shabbat vaynafash. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat l'tor et ha'berit olam. Sing it out loud. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat l'tor et ha'berit olam. That's why I love this community. Yes, you all are going to camp next week. And you're going to teach the kids how to do it right. But now we turn to the moment where we stand before God, where we stand essentially in the great hall of Adonai. And we stand there as one, but also as individuals. For that is what prayer is. It is both a communal thing and an individual thing. And it is our community that helps lift us up so that we may express what is in our soul, what is in our individual need. For sometimes we need that little boost. So let us all rise and turn to page 164 as we prepare to stand before God. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim Vekonei Hakol Vezocher Chastei Avot Ve'imahot Umevi Geula Livnei Bneihem Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Bechayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Morid Hatah Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Tomech Noflim Verofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishemei Afar Michamocha Baal Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Memid Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah le'achayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kedoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. As we have prayed together, let us now take the moment to pray individually. You may be seated when you are ready. We now turn to page 362, as we rise for Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for reading of the Torah. Co-President Lynn Weinstein will announce the honors.
I would like to invite Flora Jason and Carol Anderson to open and close the Ark doors this evening, and Bob Seidel to process the Torah through our congregation. Give the cantor a chance to breathe. I'm going to read something as the Ark doors are opened. Don't need to turn the page. And there is a reason for this. There are times when the love of God burns so powerfully within your heart that the words of prayer seem to rush forth quickly and without deliberation. At such times, it is not you yourself who speak. Rather, it is through you that those words are spoken.
Ein kamocha Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kemaasecha, malechutecha malechut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'hador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imlov, leolam vahed, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Gadol Shemo, Gadlu Adonai iti, Uneromema Shemo Yachdav, Lecha Adonai Hagidula. So, you might have noticed that this was the second week in a row that we skipped chanting the Ve'ahavta. This week was intentional. Last week was just because I like to throw in English every now and then, because we need to remind ourselves what it means. But this week, everyone here is going to chant Torah. Yay. I thought that would get a bigger... Everybody's going to get a chance to chant Torah. There you go. But we have our wonderful Helene up here. Would you like to give our blessing before the reading of the Torah? Very well.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamorach Le'olam Ha'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bacha banu mikol hamim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. You have your prayer book. We are on page 154. Ready? Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha
bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alavavecha v'shinantam vanecha v'dibarta bam b'shiftecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uvshofbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchetaftam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha.
And the closing blessings together.
Baruch atah Adonai. I don't have my place. In my place. Oh, okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher chabanu nurat emet v'hayei olam nata betochenu baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. Amen. Sorry about that.
Yeshua.
Thank you.
In a moment, we are going to turn to the Mishaberach prayer and send healing thoughts to loved ones, both here in our sanctuary, as well as those who are at home feeling illness of body, mind, or spirit, and friends and family throughout our world for whom we are offering prayers of healing. But before we recite the prayer together or sing the prayer together, I want to share the names of our Temple Sinai family whose names have been added to our Mishaberach list. They include Marcy Anshin, Maxine Arst, Belle Brody, Sheila Chasen, Elisa Eisenman, Charles Feller, Marilyn Glass, Carol Goldberg, Anita Goldstein, Vega Goodman, Ed Greenblatt, Aileen Greif, James Hernan, Bobby Hyde, Joyce Israel, Florence Carmel, Howard Cohn, Susan Kramer, Bill Lazarus, Estelle Lent, Donna Lopater, Stephen Lopater, Nels Miller, Rosa Gill Miller, Melvin Mogel, Tama Pasternak, Rhoda Roca, Judy Scheinberg, Ruth Seidel, Sam Shapiro, Bob Silver, Sandy Silver, Harriet Silverman, Jerome Simon, Joyce Simon, Susan Postal Sweet, Jay Sweet, Laurie Tambur, Janet Thaler, Zena Wagner, Barbara Weinberg, and Warren Weiss. As I motion around our sanctuary, please feel comfortable rising and saying the name of someone that is on your own personal list.
Joan Shear, Barry Amos, Anita Raymond.
Marsha? Estelle?
Sheila Firestone. Stan Rieger, Ron Stux.
And we send healing thoughts to many family members and friends of Temple Sinai whose names are currently on our screen as the choir joins me because, as everyone knows, I am not a singer. Cantor had to step away. Dr. David, would you help lead us in the Mishabara prayer in our prayer book? To invite Eric Adams to raise the Torah, and as he walks up, we will all.
Please rise. V'zot Torah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai. Die, 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 die. You may be seated. Okay, so what happened to the cantor? The cantor didn't feel well. So, I'm just going to sit here if that's okay with you all tonight. Is that fine? Okay. Who here has ever seen the movie Night at the Roxbury's? Anybody? Is this on? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, hi. Has anybody ever heard of the movie Night of the Roxbury's or Night at the Roxbury's? No? Okay, who here has ever seen the SNL skit where the guy goes, "What is love? Baby, don't hurt me." Yeah, okay. So, what is love? What is love? We're commanded to love Adonai, our God, with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your me'odecha. What does that mean, though? Anybody have an idea? This is one of those times where it's everybody can join in. Anybody have an idea of what is love? Yes? Devotion?
Love is the thing that ties us all together. It flows between humanity and the good Lord.
Yes. It flows between us. It keeps us connected. Anybody else? An idea? Love, we're given instructions on how to love God. And we see that kol levavcha. Anybody know what the Hebrew word for heart is? Lev. But why levav? What's with the second vet? Anybody? Anybody have an old yeshiva sermon? Yeah. Well, the cha at the end, but we still have an extra vet. We still have an extra vet in there. Lamed vet is heart, but lamed vet is also heart. But why does it say levavcha? Yeah.
Are we talking about the love of everybody rather than the individual love?
That's interesting, the love of everybody. So more heart. We have more than one heart. Actually, this gets to the root of what I wanted to talk tonight. Within our hearts, within our souls, we have the Yetzer HaTov, the good inclination, right? Our good conscience, or if you are one for cartoons, the little angel on the shoulder, right? And then we have the Yetzer Hara, the bad inclination, right? And in fact, in the Hashkivenu, even though it's not in our prayer books, in the Reform movements, there is a line that says, "Shield me from Hasatan," the Satan. But this in Judaism is not a person, a thing, or even a divine being, or even anything related to that. It is our Yetzer Hara, our bad inclination. God is telling us that we should pray, that we should love God with both sides of our heart. With our Yetzer HaTov and our Yetzer Hara, and bringing those together to create one Lev. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel all right. Okay? Bob Marley had it down, really. He was amazing. So, how do we do this? In fact, we are commanded 3 times in the Torah to love. Here we have one, love Adonai, your God. The other 2 times that we're commanded to love, that we're told that it is a mitzvot to love, is to love one another. We're told to give twice as much love that we give to God to each other. Because God will love us unconditionally, without fault. But we are humans. And we have to work twice as hard to provide that same level of love. But how do we do that in our everyday lives? How do we go around making sure that we love? It's difficult. This is also Shabbat Nacham, the Shabbat after Shabbat, after our mourning of the loss of the temple. In Isaiah, we hear, Nachamu, Nachamu Ami Yomar Elohechem. Comfort my people, says Adonai. We should bring comfort to the world. So I want to ask you, is everything that you do in your life, is the first thing that you think about comfort? Are my actions bringing peace and love to the world? And there's also the other side of love. Sometimes call it the hard love or the tough love, right? But even that comes from a place of positivity. And to have discussions within our community, within our greater state, within our country, within our world, can sometimes be tough. But we must make sure that we approach every situation with the inclination to give love. We even have it enshrined in some of our laws. The Good Samaritan law. People who are trying to operate in good faith, trying to save somebody, trying to make sure that they live, even if they make a mistake, they are forgiven because they did it out of love and compassion. But it shouldn't have to be written into our laws. It should be written in one place, on our lev. So I ask you, I implore you, to live with love in both of your hearts, no matter what happens. Shabbat Shalom. Since it is not a special Shabbat for anniversaries or birthdays, I wanted to give this time right now for announcements. I want to do it now. Yes, our co-president Betty Adams, wonderful choir singer, and she does everything. Both of them do. I don't know, I wouldn't have been able to give this sermon if I worked as hard as they did.
Here. Well, I want to thank Cantor Dan, and glad you're okay. And Dr. Dave McFarland, of course, the fabulous Temple Sinai Choir, co-president and ritual chair and sometimes service leader, Lynn Weinstein, and Seth Dinsky for controlling the video. And thanks to everyone who participated in tonight's service. And of course, we thank the following sponsors. Shabbat services this week are sponsored by Pearl and Mark Vogel in memory of Mark's mother, Pauline Vogel. Pearl and Mark Vogel in honor of Pearl's birthday. Happy birthday out there, Pearl. The following donations to the community food pantries are sponsored by Paula and Mike Geigerman in memory of their nephew, Ben Geigerman, and Ruth Kurland in memory of her husband, Jules Kurland. Our Saturday, July 29th Shabbat Torah study group is sponsored by Barbara Mandel in memory of her son, Andrew Mandel, and Susan Christopoulos in memory of her mother, Sylvia G. Brown. And before I go into other announcements, I'm inviting Judy Stern to talk to you about High Holy Day tickets.
Shabbat Shalom. Okay, we are starting to assign seats for the high holidays for the members. So if you have not brought in your forms, please do so, because I'm assigning seats as they come in. And please don't put down that you need an aisle seat. They're very limited, as you could see. But the next time we build a temple, we'll do a row of 2 seats, a space, a row of 2 seats, and that's the way we'll get around it. Also, we are selling tickets to non-members so they can get their forms in. And we will be selling tickets starting this Monday through Friday, and on Sunday from 11 to 2. So tell everybody that you know that we're going to have beautiful services, and please join us. And for those thinking about membership, your seats are included in your membership, so that's an extra plus. So again, please get in your forms as soon as possible, and I will assign as best as I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. If you're visiting tonight or watching from home and you're considering becoming part of our Temple Sinai family, and one of the reasons is because you do get your High Holy Day tickets along with that, join us for muffins and mimosas and meet our clergy and friendly members on Sunday, August 13th from 10 a.m. to noon. And we also have a membership special going on that's sure to interest you. Please call, oh, here we go. Yes, you're going to RSVP, please, if you possibly can, to come to the open house, 561-276-6161, extension 124. You can just leave a message, if you like, with your name and number, and somebody will call you back. On August 18th, Friday, August 18th, we're looking forward to another delicious Shabbat dinner by Joe and Stan Rieger and their committee. And they will have flyers for you to sign up next week, so just come next week. Or we'll have them also online. You'll get an email about it. Everybody's eager to sign up, and they know that, so they just need to get the forms out there. Did you get your tickets for the Cool Cash raffle, or do you want to increase your chances of winning by getting more? You can come see me by the big gold drum thing at the Oneg and learn about the generous cash prizes. The drawing will be Wednesday evening, August 16th. It's a bingo night. You don't have to be present to win, although you could come play bingo if you want. We appreciate everyone's participation in this fundraiser. Sunday, August 20th at noon, Brotherhood invites you to their annual meeting, including a deli lunch and a comedian to entertain us. You can get a brief overview of what Brotherhood did last year, what they're going to do next year, maybe give some input on what they will do next year. If you're not a Brotherhood member, you can still sign up, women, men, whoever. There will be flyers available next week, or you can call, if you're really excited and you want to call sooner, call 561-276-6161, extension 133, and one of the friendly Brotherhood members will call you back. Join Sisterhood on Thursday, December 28th. I know that's a long way away, but we're making plans. It's okay. For a matinee presentation of Tevye in New York at the Delray Beach Playhouse, so we can find out what may have happened to Tevye after Fiddler on the Roof. Tonight you can see Andrea Simon at the Oneg to reserve your seats or get any questions answered. But if you're watching from home and you can't do that, you can email sisterhoodpbc@gmail.com. Ask any questions, get all your answers, and then you can come sign up some other time. Thank you in advance for your contributions to our tzedakah bowl. Proceeds support our religious school and the future of Judaism. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Betty. We turn to page 586 as we rise for the Aleinu. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latzeit genula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei haratzot, velo samanu gemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu echol hamonam, va'anam
In a moment, we're going to turn to the concluding prayers of our service. But first, I ask everyone to turn to page 377 in your prayer books. There's a lot of stress in our Israeli homeland. So let's join together in a prayer for Israel. On page 377, Avinu Shebashamayim, and in the English, together. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shielded beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. We turn now to remember those who came before us, those who are still in our hearts and will remain in our hearts beyond our own years. On this Shabbat week, we remember members and family and friends of Temple Sinai whose names are engraved in our memorial plaques throughout our sanctuary, including Annette Abramson, Sophie Baum, Myrna Ada Broadman, Lena Brody, Sylvia G. Brown, Joseph L. Case, Rosalind Chazen, David Cohen, Samuel Davidson, Sonia Violet Eckstein, Murray Friedman, Alexander Froman, Malvin Gerstein, David Gorfinkel, Maurice Howe, Chaim Jupiter, Alice Kaskell, Jules Kurland, Gertrude Letterman, Isaac Nudelman, Isidore Rothman, Manuel Samuel, Harry L. Schneider, Edward H. Schulich, Abraham Shapiro, Francis Shapiro, and Bernard Summers. We also remember Lenny Cohn, Ben Geigerman, Henry Huberger, Solomon M. Layer, Andrew Mandel, and Pauline Vogel. The Shloshim period of recent passing includes Madeline Mogel, Jackie Benjamin, Harris Cohen, and Bennett Kanarick, who has not yet seen his final, whose family has not yet seen his final resting place. As I gesture around our sanctuary, please recite names of loved ones and dear ones. And those of you at home, please recite the loved ones who have been in your hearts throughout your lives as we all rise together in solidarity with our Jewish worldwide community and recite the Kaddish Yatom, page number 598. Together, please.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'gala u'vizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach v'yolam l'omei almaya. Yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'halal shmei kudusha b'richu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran b'yalma v'imru, Amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, u'ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen.
May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated.
We end tonight's service on page 625 with verses 1, 2, and 5 of Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yetzer Nivra Ve'ein Asa B'chesed Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Tichlot HaKol V'aldo Imlov Torah Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yiyeh B'tifara Ve'hu Yiyeh B'tifara Be'yado Avkiruchi Ve'etisha Ve'ayira Ve'imruchi Kevi'asi Adonai Ve'yoekra Adonai Ve'yoekra. Again, my thanks to our wonderful choir for being so joyous this evening, and of course our accompanist and amazing musician in general, Dr. David McFarlane, and my partners in crime, Betty and Lynn Weinstein. Oh, I just married you two, by the way. Sorry, Eric. Betty Adams and Lynn Weinstein are co-presidents. We rise for a final blessing. May we remember that we are human and that we make mistakes. But the important thing is to realize those mistakes and to come back at it again with that idea of love being the inspiration for all that we do. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.